Welcome to Slurring Your Memes. I'm Taco.
I'm Philbrook.
And we'd like to go ahead and invite you all to a wonderful show. Hopefully you think it's a wonderful show. Where we're mostly going to be drinking a lot.
Indeed.
Today.
Lots of drinking.
And we're going to be talking about a couple topics, really. Actually, more likely one, right?
Well, one for today, but we might, shoot the shit about some other things. Who knows?
It depends on what kind of shit we like to shoot.
Exactly.
It's going to be out of our asses, or if it's going to be out of our mouths.
It will be explosive.
So, and how have you been today?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Feeling pretty good, man. I was nursing a hangover this morning. Watched the UFC fights. Got a little too tipsy. But all in all, good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no complaints.
Yeah, I spent most of my day doing adult shit, so.
Oh, fun.
The toilet was filled.
Yeah, I did a lot of that this morning, too. No regrets.
So, today on our topic, we're going to see what we actually have available to us, which is we're going to be talking about MayheM.
Indeed.
A Norwegian black metal band?
Yeah, black metal. I mean, it's very interesting band that formed, I think, in 1984. So I was about a year old when they formed. And these guys have an incredible story. And we're going to kind of dive into it a little bit. You guys may or may not be familiar with them, but you're about to be. I've done some research, and they got some amazing stories.
Some amazing stuff, and I hope that your stomach can handle it.
Indeed.
Because, as a musician myself, I wouldn't even think of like going that far, from what you've told me, and from what I've seen, they actually go to the extreme, and when they mean black metal, they mean fucking black metal. It's like eat your heart.
Pretty much. Yeah, we're going to dive into that a bit today because it's totally worth it. These guys lived the band name, I would say.
All right, so MayheM is a Norwegian black metal band formed in 1984 in Oslo, Norway. They were one of the founders of the Norwegian black metal scene. I don't know if you anyone out there knows what black metal is. Black metal is, I guess you can say it's panda bears.
Yeah, exactly.
Say panda bears. People that use corpse paint and they paint themselves with the in a panda bear shape, I guess.
Right. I mean, it's almost ritualistic in a sense. It's about as deep as you can get if you want to live your music or live the scene that you're in. This is about as far as you can go. But yeah, let's dive into this a little bit.
All right. So to start off, their first album, was their early years in this wonderful black metal from what do we have here? They were the lineup began playing cover songs by Black Sabbath, Venom, and Motorhead, and later recorded a demo, Pure Fucking Armageddon. I can't believe they actually let that name kind of slip through. It was like Pure Fucking Armageddon. I mean, did they even bother censoring it?
That was a precursor to what was the MayheM that was to come, really. It was the perfect name, if you ask me.
Yeah. After his leads, artists who used to sing lead vocals along with Stubberud.
I have no idea.
During their first demo studio rehearsals, recruited 2 session vocalists, Erik Norheim, the Messiah. So fuck Jesus. Okay, this guy is Jesus. His name is Eric. So we are going to praise Eric for being the Messiah, the real one, not some guy that swings around magic. And Sven Erik Christiansen.
Yeah, Christiansen.
The Maniac. In 1986 and 1987, respectively, Norheim played vocals for a concert which took place April 1986 in Skye. And by the end of the year, he had quit MayheM.
Yeah, he later formed a hardcore punk band within range, and an oil street punk band, Cockroach Clan. I don't know what that means, but Cockroach Clan. So they lived in walls, and like I don't know, they got smushed. Like I have no fucking idea, man.
Oh my God! Remember those like old disses from like back in the day where they say you live in such a poor house that when I walk in and throw a match on the floor, the cockroaches come out and say, clap your hands, stomp your feet, so that we got heat.
Unbelievable. I'm glad I never lived like that. Thank God.
Let me tell you some of the shit that I've heard when I was there.
So whereas with Christensen, Mayhem recorded its first EP, Death Crush, in 1987. Jesus, I was like 4 years old.
Holy shit.
And released it through Euronymous, newly formed label, Poser Corpse Music.
Poser Corpse. You're a fucking fake corpse, dude.
Yeah.
You're a poser.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Fucking get serious.
Right? Get serious with your dying. Jesus. So the initial 1,000-copy release of Death Crush quickly sold out. It was later reissued in 1993 by the newly renamed Death Like Silence Productions as a joint venture with Euronymous, Oslo's specialist recording shop, Helvite, I believe that's pronounced. Norwegian for hell. Helvite. That's a nice new word to learn.
Helvite.
I guess we have to start learning Norwegian words.
Yeah, Helvite. I wonder how you pronounce that.
Helvite. Helviti. Velveeta?
Velveeta sausages?
I don't fucking know, man.
All right. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Just give us a moment.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Helvite. You just edit that out.
Yeah, I've never even heard the word before. I like it. We're all going to Helvite, apparently.
We're going to Helvite. You're going to Helvite. I'm going to Helvite. We're all going to Helvite.
Well, they got restraining orders for me down there, trust me.
Already, and he hasn't even visited yet.
Maybe I have a couple times. Just a seventh level a couple occasions.
So after two brief replacements, Maniac and Mannheim's positions were filled by Swedish vocalist Per Ljunggren.
Oof. Yeah, good luck pronouncing that one. Per Ljunggren Olin.
I think the Y is like an E sound because like if you think about Yngve Malmsteen,
right.
So maybe Per Yngve. Oh, it might be actually Yngve.
Yeah, I think it is.
Per Yngve
Olin. And his name, or nickname, I guess, was Dead.
He's dead. So.
And he probably is.
Probably. And local drummer Jan Axel Blomberg, no relation to Bloomberg, Hellhammer, and with the Dead, with Dead in the band, well, fuck me. I mean, I'm already freaking doing bad here. What the fuck?
Well, I know Hellhammer's the longest reigning member of this band. I think it was like 88 or something he came in, and he's still in the band through their last album release, which is like 2014.
Oh, yeah?
He's been around forever. I guess he's pretty well known in the black metal scene.
Wow, what do you know?
Yeah.
A lot of things you'll learn here today about black metal.
Indeed.
With Dead, the band's concert became notorious for... With Dead, the band's concerts became notorious. For concerts, Dead went to great lengths to achieve the image and atmosphere he wished. From the beginning of his career, he was known to wear corpse paint. Remember we were talking about this? Panda bears.
Exactly.
Which involved covering his face with black and white makeup. Panda bears. According to Necro Butcher.
I love that nickname, the Necro Butcher.
The Necro Butcher.
Actually, there was a guy named Necro Butcher that was a wrestler, I'm pretty sure. That was like one of those deathmatch wrestlers.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Necro Butcher, yeah.
Let's see, Necro Butcher. It wasn't anything to do with... the way Kiss and Alice Cooper used makeup. Dead actually went to look like a corpse. He didn't do it to look cool because, panda bears.
Right.
Hellhammer claimed that Dead was the first black metal musician to use corpse paint.
It's quite possible but I mean, then again, I guess you could look at guys like Cooper and Alice Cooper, and Not that his on-stage performance was great because he was killing himself like every 15 minutes on in his sets, guillotines, hangings, all kinds of crazy shit. So.
And this was Alice Cooper?
Oh, yeah,
dude,
that's what he did.
I've never been to an Alice Cooper show, ever.
Yeah, he did a lot of crazy stuff, electrocutions, all types of stuff. He was like really shock rock, I guess, not, black metal. But, yeah, he was an interesting fella. He's actually a restaurateur now.
He plays at restaurants?
No, he owns restaurants.
Oh, I thought you said he goes to restaurants and plays there.
No,
What's up, Alex Cooper?
He plays almost every year in Lynn, too, the Lynn Auditorium.
Oh, does he?
He
really?
played last year, I want to say, but I did not make it to that show, even though I would love to.
I know who's been playing there, though. I mean, November 28th, Paula Abdul was there.
Yes, actually, I have a friend of mine that went to that show.
Yeah, and how was that?
I don't know, and I don't care. I don't care whatsoever. I did hear she fell off stage recently, and I was pretty excited to hear about that.
Come on, baby, don't you? Whoa!
Yeah.
Crash! Bang, ding, ow!
Right.
To complete his corpse image, Dead would bury his stage clothes and dig them up again wear on the night of the concert. So I mean, this guy went to some serious lengths to actually give the image of like the Dead. I guess he wanted to make sure that he looked really, really dead.
Right.
Like a zombie. Fuck
yeah,
it,
that's what I was just thinking, like fucking Walking Dead style or something.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
All you need is like Rick Grimes back then. He's fucking alive! Boom! While performing, Dead would often cut himself with hunting knives and broken glass.
I was talking about that earlier, man. This guy was insane.
Yeah,
I mean I've seen some crazy shows, man. Like, obviously, we've been to tons, literally thousands of concerts.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
And, it's like Marilyn Manson, one of the ones I went to, he's, ripping the Bible into pieces in one of the shows I went to, which, again, more shock rock. He's on stilts and he's doing all this weird stuff. And actually, there was a time he got sued, which was really interesting. I was at that show. It was at Ozfest, where he grabbed one of the bodyguards and shoved his face into his junk. And I was there, and I was like 10 rows back from where it happened, and I laughed for probably a good half an hour. It was amazing.
I can just imagine you just like, bam!
It was exactly like the stolen bike incident, exactly. I've been to all kinds of shows. I mean, I've seen a Slayer show one time. It was Tattoo the Earth, and that was when I'm pretty sure that was the show where they banned glass bottles, because that pit was ridiculous. You're talking like 20,000 people in a big circle pit, and all you saw was bottles getting thrown.
Oh,
literally hundreds and hundreds of them. And a lot of people left on stretchers that day.
Yeah,
it was pretty crazy.
Good thing David Drummond was there. He would have stopped the whole show.
It's
It's like, listen, I will stop singing. Please do so.
No shit.
No offense to David Drummond. He's a good singer. It's just like, I just wish he wouldn't do shit like that on live sets. While he stops the music
Right.
and then says, I'm not going to play anymore if you guys stop being mean.
That's
It's
ridiculous.
It's like, dude, you're supposed to be metal.
Yeah, if you're metal, then you're gonna just let people go fucking off the handle.
Right.
I mean, it's like I saw this pissed me off, and I'd never liked this band, but POD I saw, and this was in 1999 at Loco Bazooka, and dude, POD before they came on made an announcement that no one was allowed to drink or them to even serve beer while they were doing their set. Their 45 minutes, maybe an hour set was basically composed of nothing but booze and people throwing shit at them. Because they suck, and they deserved it. And that was such an epic show, too.
And I just want to pause here for a moment for a nice little word from our sponsor.
Cheers to another dead soldier. Soldier.
Sold to dirt.
Yeah, I usually got a pile of those around me, and I'm not even slurring yet, but don't worry, I will be.
We're almost there. Well, actually, I'm not even almost there anyway. I'm trying to get there.
I actually started at 11:30 because I drank way too much last night and kind of needed the hair of the dog to get myself, back on my feet. So while my fiance was getting ready for work, I had my ass in a recliner and I was drinking Budweiser because that's all I had at the time. The drive home last night was interesting. I didn't hit anybody, so that was a plus.
That was excellent.
Yeah, well, I'm a pretty good drunk driver, surprisingly. I just know, keep your tires next to this line, and then make sure you use your blinker and whatever the speed limit is. Just whatever.
Just try not to kill anybody.
Nobody died, I think.
I don't know if you saw that video of this guy that it was a streamer, I guess. He was a fucking video game streamer or some shit like that, some asshole. And you could tell he had been drinking so fucking much.
Oh.
While doing the stream, he grabs his phone, jumps into the car, and he's just like, yeah.
I love that sound.
That's the best sound in the world. And so he gets into his car, puts his phone on this on the phone holder where it could be. You
so he record and see himself, yeah.
Obviously, and he's talking, and everyone on the chat.
It's Twitch.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Twitch. I think it is.
YouTube, Twitch, whatever.
Everyone's like, I'm calling the police. I'm calling 911. I hope you crash and die. I mean, when I read, I hope you crash and die, I just fucking lost it.
See, I love that kind of stuff, man.
And then the end of the video was fucking just like gray fucking poupon. Okay,
Yeah.
That's how great the video was. Because the guy was like, yeah, I'm a pretty good drug dealer. Holy shit!
Oh, man.
Crash.
I don't think I've seen that, but that's something I do want to see now.
Oh, yeah, go check it out, man. I don't know the name of the video. I know that I fucking saw it.
Yeah, I can Google that shit, find it. Additionally, this is the part I actually like a lot. I have actually seen bands do this, but additionally, the band often had pig or sheep heads impaled on stakes and planted at the front of their stage. You can't really get more satanistic than that.
No,
that's phenomenal.
Unless you're Aussie and you bite their head off real bad.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, you can't really beat that. Or like snort a line of ants or something.
Oh my God, who did that?
Aussie.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I didn't know about that.
I've
That's
heard
like
it.
fucking news to me.
I don't know if it's true or not. Who fucking knows? But you've heard all kinds of crazy stories about bands just doing crazy shit,
If you know anything about this, please do write us at Slurring Your Memes Podcast at gmail.com.
Indeed.
Let us know if that's fucking true about Ozzy snorting a line of ants.
Or any other fucking stories we don't know about, because we will definitely shout you out and talk about it.
Absolutely. Just shoot us a line. Again, that is Slurring Your Memes at I'm sorry, you're right. Slurring Your Memes Podcast at gmail.com. I'll just go ahead and fuck that up a couple times.
Fantastic.
But it's okay.
All right, so let's see if I can butcher this guy's name. I think it's Stian Johansson, and his name was Occultus.
Occultus.
Yeah.
He watches aliens.
I like it. Well, he's into all that fucking pagan shit. That's cool, man. And me being from Salem, I fucking live around this shit all the time, and it's pretty fun, to be honest. But briefly took a position as vocalist after Dead's suicide, and we're going to get back into that in a minute. But that is amazing. Yeah, I know I'm talking about a guy killing himself as being amazing, but it really friggin' is amazing.
Just wait till later. We'll get into that more into that a little later.
Yeah. So
continue.
After Dead's suicide, he made this statement about him. He, as in Dead, didn't see himself as human. He saw himself as a creature from another world. He said he had many visions, that his blood has frozen in his veins, that he was actually dead. That that is the reason he took the time. Took that name, I should say. He knew he would die. Well, I mean, we're all fucking gonna die, man. But,
I mean, it was like, yeah, I know I'm gonna die. I'm gonna beat it to the punch.
Right? Yeah, let me get ahead of the curve of my death.
Right?
Whatever. But, so, moving forward, so 1990, the members of Mayhem moved to an old house in the forest. And this, I read about this a while ago, and it was amazing. So this is near Oslo, which was used as a place for the band's rehearsal. They began writing songs for their next album, which I'm going to butcher again. Die Mysterious Dom Sathanis. That's something. That's a big fucking word for me, man.
Sathanis?
Sathanis, whatever.
You got to say it with a lip.
Yeah, Mary Kithmith. Fucking. So, Mayhem's bassist, Necro Butcher. I love that name.
Necro Butcher. These names are fucking awesome.
It's phenomenal. So he said that after living together for a while, Dead and Euronymous got on each other's nerves a lot. And I was reading about this earlier. This is great. And weren't really friends at the end. Hellhammer recalls that Dead once went outside to sleep in the woods because Euronymous was playing synth music that Dead hated. Like, just despised this shit. Wanted nothing to do with it.
Synth music.
Who doesn't? Fuck that shit.
It was like, fuck me.
Yeah, it's just
really
god awful fucking noises. So Euronymous then went outside and began shooting a gun into the air with basically a shotgun. And this guy named Varg Vikernes claims that Dead once stabbed Euronymous with a knife. If it was over synth music, I totally understand.
I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to our page, but there is a meme up there.
Yes.
Right now that's getting a lot of attention, and it's about a guy getting stabbed, which shows the top. The context. The top of context says. Quote from man stabbed. What are you gonna do? Stab me?
Apparently, he got stabbed.
I can't. Like just. That shit's just too funny. I mean, what are you gonna do? Stab me?
And then he gets stabbed. Apparently.
But the greatest thing is what's on top. You
Right.
know.
Quote from man that got stabbed.
And that's just great.
It is. It's
Because then the
phenomenal.
punchline is right there.
Exactly. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Stab me? Well, I've been stabbed, and I mean, I could have. I wish if we had a video here, I could show you some scars, man. But I've also had some other accidents where I've been punctured, we'll say, and
In the ass.
yes, multiple times, and that was different. I like that. But Peg me Pegasus. But yeah, speaking, from someone that has experience of actually getting stabbed, it's not fun.
I wouldn't imagine.
No,
I could imagine it wouldn't be fun.
No, it's no fun.
However, I mean, thinking about it, metal just sliding right into your supple skin.
Right? Slicing you open. I mean, when it happened to me, I won't get into the details because they're not phenomenal by any means. So I'll keep those to me for now. But I thought he just got punched in the ribs. And I didn't think anything of it. That guy just punched me, so I pushed him away from me. And I was wearing this blue kind of shiny blue shirt, and I looked down, and I had this piece of metal sticking out. Actually, you can see right here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's where I got poked.
There's two little marks, like right to the left of his belly button.
Yeah.
And just like maybe about 2 inches up.
Yeah, and they're like, like an inch or so apart, and I thought I got punched. And when I pushed the guy back and I just kind of like pulled my arm back, I felt like my arm rubbed against something, and there's a piece of metal just sticking out of my fucking skin. And I was like, oh, that's not supposed to be there. So the initial shock, I just grabbed it and pulled it out, which, whatever. I didn't even go to the doctors. I just, made it stop bleeding.
He just rubbed it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we are fine.
I'm okay. I'm still alive.
I know. I remember being stabbed once when I was a fucking kid. There was these guys. Everybody back in the 80s were all about fucking riding their bikes as fast as they can.
Yep.
Now, I had a bike where I ripped that shit apart. I put it back together. I stripped it, and I did everything I could to this bike. Now,
Okay.
at this point, the bike has obviously handlebars. And you know how most bikes, when they come in and they have these like handlebar protectors.
Oh, sure, yeah. The grips.
Grips,
Yeah.
yeah. Handlebar grips. Mine didn't have that.
Yeah, so just the
And-
straight pipes.
Yeah, straight pipes. So this guy, this kid, back then was like, let's race. And I was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Because
Right.
it's normal for me to do. I'm a fucking
course.
kid. Why not go fucking race down a fucking, road that barely has any traffic,
Yeah, I don't
So-
care if there's traffic or not.
So I'm racing and I'm pushing, and I don't know. I think the wheel was just like the front tire was like moving back and forth
So
to left
shaking.
and right, it was shaking, and
Yeah.
then I lost control, and then I moved forward, and when the
exactly
bike
what
fell, I fell on the handlebar.
See, I had something like that happen to me too. But go on. It sucks.
I got up and I was like, am I okay? And I see a big ring around my stomach, and I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, I gotta go home.
Mama, mommy. But yeah, shit, that happened to me. It was the summer of 6th grade going into 7th, and then this kid, Ben, was moving away. I forget where he was moving, but I want to say it was Germany. He was going overseas somewhere. And we were in this town that I grew up in, Danvers.
The original Salem, by the way, people, if you don't
Salem
fucking know
Village,
that.
technically, but
Salem
yeah.
Village.
So we're going around this corner, and it was just a bunch of big patch of sand. And I went to turn the bike and lost the back tire, and it's just like what happened to Taco, man. It's just I slid and the handlebars turned, and it caught me right in the ribs when I landed on it, and I bruised my ribs so bad I couldn't breathe. So I thought it was like suffocating.
Oh my God.
So my other friend, I stand up, I grab his handlebars, and I'm just like gasping, going, and then finally I caught my breath and I was fine. But just bruised some ribs, no big deal. But it's similar to what happened to you. Same fucking thing. It was awful.
It was fucking awful at the time.
Right.
I mean, I still have the scar there. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah,
It's right there.
Can't miss it.
The scar is still right there.
Oh, I got tons of scars, man.
It was I don't know. Like I figured that this scar would have gone away, but it actually went into my fucking skin.
Oof.
So yeah, that was a fun experience. But back to black metal, man.
Yes. So we were just
Dead.
talking about how Euronymous was playing synth music, and the Dead hated it, and apparently this guy named Varg Vikernes claims that Dead once stabbed Euronymous with a knife, apparently over the synth music. But
and then he did this.
that's what I would have done. That's my answer to
I
everything.
fucking stabbed him.
Right.
That deserves a fucking beer, kid.
So we said we were going to talk about this a little later in what we were talking in our discussion, but this is going to happen right now because this is the next step, really. So
it really is the next step, man.
On the 8th of April, 1991, Dead committed suicide in the house owned by the band. He was found by Euronymous. Basically, this dude went all out, and you guys have to Google images of stuff. We'll get into it in a second, but they had found him. His wrists were slit, and he had basically blown his head off with a shotgun. So apparently, slitting your wrist wasn't enough. He had to go ahead and blow his head off.
I don't fucking want to live. I'm gonna cut my wrists. This is not fast enough.
Right, and this is the absolute best part. Dead suicide note. Okay, it literally read, "Excuse all the blood. Cheers." That's the best suicide note I've ever heard in my life. Excuse all the blood. Cheers.
Cheers.
And now, going forward with this, basically, they included an apology for firing the weapon indoors instead of calling the police, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit about any of that crap. But Euronymous went to a nearby store and bought a disposable camera to photograph the corpse, which is awesome. But they also rearranged him in some of the items in the scene. So one of these photographs was later used as the cover of a bootleg live album, Dawn of the Blackhearts. Now, you guys can go out and Google this shit. This is amazing. This is an actual album cover, and it's phenomenal. It's literally the former lead singer's body with his head blown off, sitting there with the shotgun sitting there, and his head's like half there or whatever.
His brains are all over the place.
Yeah, you can see his brains.
The shotgun's right next to him, and the brains are right there. It's like they all walked in on this scene and was just like, oh my gosh.
Album cover. That's fucking amazing.
It's like, the dead guy here is not really affecting us, but we can make money off this.
Yeah.
Let's get that shovel over there and scoop his brains real quick.
Yeah, just pile them up right here next to his shotgun and then let's put a suicide note in it, which they probably should have. But
they probably should have.
It was probably there. I don't really remember.
But honestly, if they had put that suicide note in the picture itself, it's like, sorry for the blood, cheers.
Right.
They should have just named it that.
Just have his hand up in the air, holding it with a little smile on his face, like a ranger smile.
Oh man,
that would have been perfect.
That would have been great. But I mean, look at us talking about how great it is.
I don't know why. I'm just so excited about it, and I don't know why. I guess I'm a little morbid too. But so yeah, this is crazy. This is I love this quote. Osteen called me up the next day and says, "Dead has done something really cool. He killed himself." That's phenomenal. I thought, the guy thought was like, have you lost it? What do you mean, cool? He says, relax. I have photos of everything.
What? How could you fucking just say this nonchalantly? Also, it's just like, guess what?
Yeah, I mean, this
could
guy
have done something cool.
And this guy's obviously all shocked and griefed, and he lost his friend. The friend killed himself. He was sad enough to blow his friggin' brains out, and this guy's just thinking of how to exploit it. So I told him, okay, don't even fucking call me before you destroy those pictures.
Oh Jesus!
Then of course Euronymous used Dead's suicide to foster MayheM's evil image and claimed Dead had killed himself because black metal had become trendy and commercialized. If you're thinking about it, I mean, we're obviously metalheads, but I've never seen black metal really get big. It's usually like a really tight-knit community. I mean, some bands have risen above.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
we
Like
could really...
Cradle of Filth.
Cradle of Filth would be the first one.
Dimmu
Borg.
Give me more beer, or Dimmuburger.
Mm-hmm. The Serpentine's Offering. I love that song.
Oh, dude. Dimmu Borgir?
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce
They're
it?
fucking phenomenal.
Borgir.
Yes.
They are fucking phenomenal.
One of the best live bands I've ever seen. I've only
Honestly,
seen them once. I saw them at Ozfest.
I saw them at Ozfest myself.
That was probably the same show I was at.
That was, dude, they were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, like, when the clean single comes out, and that's probably why I think a lot of the black metals kind of, like, died off a little bit, because there's bands out there just like, let's play some crazy black metal, but here's some singing.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding, right? All of a sudden they break into this poetic kind of like church music, and it's singing like this love and birds and doves and all that shit floating around them, and the sky's parting and the sun's coming out,
and everybody's fucking headbanging, the fucking necks right off.
Exactly.
You see them just fucking dangling pretty much.
Yeah.
But here's our beautiful soloist singing a wonderful tune for you.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, you got to give these guys credit for putting themselves out there. They go from just screaming as deeply and as loudly, as gutturally as they can to tra-la-la-la-la. Like, what the fuck, man? That's pretty interesting. I mean, they put yourself out there, but you're also, at the same time, I think some people get upset with that kind of stuff, because you look at bands like Cradle of Filth and...
Cradle of Filth is awesome.
They're nasty, man. Gilded Cunt is actually one of my favorite songs.
It's such a great song.
I love it.
I think it's one of my favorite songs as well.
It is my favorite song by them, and plus the name is phenomenal. Gilded Cunt.
The lyrics like, dirty little gold digger, dirty little gold digger.
It's awesome.
It's just awesome. It's great. Right. Let's continue on with
we're going to continue talking, because we could easily just talk shit all day and drink, and that's basically what we do when we're not working. Because this isn't working. This is just how we talk when we're just sitting around, So, anyways, that suicide note is still the best part about this whole thing. Excuse all the blood. Cheers. I keep thinking about that over and over.
Excuse all the blood.
Right.
Cheers.
So, again, the other guy said, no, we need to destroy these pictures, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, he was grief-stricken, but they didn't. They used the suicide letter to foster MayheM's evil image and claimed Dead had killed himself because black metal had become trendy and commercialized.
Trendy.
And rumors spread that Euronymous had made a stew with bits of Dead's brain and had made necklaces with bits of skull.
Oh, that's fucking wonderful. These guys really, really went out of the way to... glorify his death,
right?
By immortalizing him on their necks.
I mean, if you think about like Vietnam, they wore like ear necklaces and shit. I mean, what's the fucking difference to having a piece of brain? Yeah,
I mean, you're right. Yeah. And on top of that, the fucking Vikings.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, that's what you think Vikings did. They raped and pillaged. That's what they were known for.
Oh no, the Vikings are coming! Guard your vaginas.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, people don't talk about how such amazing schooners and boat builders they were. They talk about, oh man, that guy had a huge axe. He used to bury it in people's fucking foreheads. That's all they talk about.
These guys are fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, I love Vikings. I mean, I wish I was a Viking. But,
I mean, you're as tall as a fucking Viking.
Yeah, I guess so. It's nice being this tall.
Yeah, it is very good to be this very big.
So, the band actually later denied the rumors of them actually, making these necklaces from this dude's, skull and God knows what.
It's fucking true. Don't fucking believe a word they say.
Yeah, they denied the former rumor, but confirmed that later on it was true. They actually made skull necklaces, which is fucking awesome. Would I do that with one of my friends if they requested it? Fucking right, I would.
If I blow my brains out, which I don't think I will.
I'm making a cup out of your jaw.
just make sure that you take my jaw and make it into a necklace.
Yeah.
So that way you just like always have that,
Yeah.
like underbite.
And I could headbang and it'd just be look like you're talking. You know what I mean? Yeah, you see, he won't even shut up and he's dead. What the fuck? But, so, moreover, Euronymous claimed to have given these necklaces to musicians he deemed worthy. So they were like almost like a sacrificial item or something that they handed off to people that they thought were fucking cool. Oh, you're cool. Here's a piece of this guy's brain.
Yeah, you want some?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
This was actually later confirmed by several other members of the scene, like Bard Faust Ethan.
Bard Faust Ethan.
I think it is Ethan. And Metallion, some other fucking guy that got to wear some skulls and shit. That's kind of fucking cool, man. So, so Dead Suicide affected Necro Butcher big time. I mean, obviously, so much that he left the band, thinning the band's ranks down to 2.
So it was a bass and drums.
Right. And the group performed for a short time thereafter with a cultist joining the band to begin recording vocals and bass tracks in MayheM's debut album, The Mysterious Dumb Savannah. I don't know.
The Mysterious Dumb Savannah.
Oh, my goodness. However, this was short-lived. He left the band after receiving a death threat from Euronymous. Apparently, this guy's a cunt. Because he just
a total fucking cut.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he should be deemed to be Euronymous.
Euronymous
is now known as My Kunt Izichi.
Yeah,
if you guys see that meme up on our page.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know, give it a like, share it, do something, share our
wipe
page,
your ass with it.
fuckers.
Don't care. Do whatever you want. Steal it. Steal our shit.
Yeah, steal everything. Just fucking do it.
Yes.
Just do it. I dare you. If you don't, then, whatever, fuck it.
But if you think about those two, these guys are all about death and cutting themselves and fucking themselves up on stage. This guy gets a fucking death threat and he's, "Ugh, I'm leaving the band." What a pussy.
I don't want this. I thought we were going to be cool and we're going to make macaroni pictures.
And we watch the Care Bears.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just hug after every album.
Right? But no, he gets a death threat, fucking leaves the band.
It's like, oh, I'm out of here.
Ugh, what a pussy.
What a pussbag.
So, what was this? July 93, live in Leipzig. Leipzig. This is a weird fucking country, and I don't like any of their words.
I'm just going to call it Leipzig.
Yeah. It's like Long Pig, basically.
Long Pig.
So, Live in Long Pig was released as his band's tribute to Dead. So, fuck that album. No one really cares about this guy, apparently, because they made necklaces out of his fucking skull.
Right?
So, in late 92, the recording of MayheM's upcoming album resumed. Thus, Arseth engaged 3 more session musicians. Berzum's Varg Verkenis, the stage name was Count Griznak. This other than Thorns, which was Snore W. Roosh. What a fucking name is that? Snore W. Roosh.
And then everyone called him Blackthorn, who handled bass guitar and rhythm guitar, respectively. And singer Attila Kirschka. Maybe that's where Attila got their fucking name from.
If it was, my fiance loves Attila.
I listened to Attila like fucking, I don't know, maybe like, I'm going to say about 4 to maybe 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Attila is one of those bands where they fucking play some heavy fucking riffs, and then in between these little riffs you have them rapping real fast, but in like that and it's really fucking dumb.
Yeah, I mean, it's all an opinion, I guess. That's fine. But the one thing I did find not too long ago, and I had to show my fiance this, was...
Yeah, for me, I think it's dumb. Yeah.
Well, no. Personally, I don't give a shit. Whatever you like, you like. Personally, do I like it? No, it's not my kind of shit. I'm more of like a Lamb of God type, you know what I mean? But they wrote this song, this metal song, this fucking about pizza. Remember?
Okay. And when you write a metal song about pizza, I guess I will retract what I say.
Right. So,
but it's still not that great to me.
No, but it's actually a pretty good song. It's kind of comedic, and the video is funny. So if it's something that you might be into, like comedy metal, kind of like What the hell's that band that does Beer is Good? Psycho Stick.
Psycho Stick.
Yeah, they're fucking.
Right.
They are hysterical. Like, they do that song "Girl Directions." They do "Beer is Good," like stuff like that. It's awesome.
Beer is good.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's all in what you like, man. If you want a good laugh, and you check out Psycho Stick, that Pizza song by Attila, it's pretty good shit, actually. But
if you have any bands that you want to go ahead and share with us,
oh yeah,
you can write us at.
Who are we again?
I know, right?
Slurring Your Memes Podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. That's what we are. We are a podcast, and
so.
Right now we're halfway in the bag.
A shitty podcast, but we're trying. We're trying hard.
We're doing our best. Where the fuck were we? Oh yeah, Attila Sihar.
C-S-I-H-A-R.
So
I'm just gonna call it that.
Attila Cshar of Hungarian black metal band Tormentor.
Ooh, I like that name.
Excuse me, I just burped into the microphone. Well, kind of away from it, but not really. I don't care. Fuck you. Due to the complaints by his parents. No, I really didn't mean that. I love you
about
guys.
His parents. Think about this for a second. These guys are like blowing brains out and handing out pieces of skull and like burning down churches and shit. And he's like, "Ooh, my parents are upset." Like, what the fuck, man? Like. They went from, to me now, they just sound like a pussy fucking band to me.
My parents don't like what I'm doing because, handing out skulls, they kind of frown upon that.
They fucking grounded me, dude.
Like, I can't come to practice today.
Yeah, my mom says I have to stand in the corner with a fucking dunce cap on my head because I'm a little faggot.
Do you have any idea how close I'm sitting to the wall?
Yeah, I don't care if you don't like the word faggot. I'm going to say it a lot. So shut up, faggots. Anyways, moving forward. Let's see. Where are we?
We're Tormentor. Due to complaints by his parents, Euronymous closed his scene Focal Point record shop, Helveti.
Helviti. Helvita.
Hello, Velveeta!
I like it.
I like them
cheese.
sausages. Give me them right now. I like the sausage. Give it to me in butt. Claiming as reasons to adverse media and police attention, much of the album was recorded during the first half of '93 at the
Greek
Hall in Bergen? Burgers.
So basically, it's a hall of burgers.
Yeah, right.
So it's like Bob's Burgers, place of worship.
And you walk in, it's like, would you like a burger? Oh, yeah, we have lots of schnitzel.
Yeah.
I don't know if schnitzel's German or...
Schnitzel? Yeah, it's German.
Oh, yeah, well, we have schnitzel.
All I can think of is Wimpy, though. It's like, what's that from, Popeye there? He's like, I'll gladly be tomorrow
fucking
for a
Wimpy.
cheeseburger today. Like, that's one of my favorite quotes ever. But
Dude, fucking burgers.
Dude, he always had a plate of burgers. Like,
Here's the thing. Like, I'm a vegetarian, but burgers.
I bet you must dream about them. Just sitting there, and you're like, you're just sitting there in your little tighty whities, and fucking this, hot ass lady comes over, and she's wearing like a bikini, fucking, and she's got this big tray of juicy, dripping fucking cheeseburgers, and you just start whipping out your dong, and you're just like,
fucking burgers!
Because that's what I would do. I'm a total fucking carnivore.
Yeah,
I will
right?
eat anything, and you can ask any of my friends or fucking my fiance, like, I will put anything in my mouth.
Penis included.
Oh, why not? Fuck it. If it tastes good, eat it.
To concede with the release of the album, Your Honors in Vicarinus had conspired to blow up Neerados Cathedral. This is where it fucking gets crazy.
Right.
I mean, the suicide wasn't crazy enough. Here's some more shit.
They're blowing up churches.
They're blowing up fucking churches.
That's fucking awesome. They went from, my parents won't let me leave the house, to fuck you, man, I'm going to blow up this church. That's
like,
fucking awesome.
Your parents won't let you leave the house? I'm going to fucking burn this place down. Fuck you.
Yes. In protest of me being grounded.
which appears on the album cover, Euronymous' murder in August 1993 put an end to his plan on the delayed album release. So
that's another part of this is that a member of this band not only killed himself, but another member of this band killed another member of the band.
So yeah, we're dealing with one fucking crazy ass band. So, I mean, we're actually making this band fucking famous.
Yeah, no, they were quite famous as it is. But I mean,
we're making them more famous to like whoever listens to this podcast.
Right.
I hope you're listening. Yeah. And if you like what you hear, please write us at slurringyourmemes@gmail. Oh, fuck me. Keep fucking
Slurring Your Memes Podcast.
I'm drunk. There you go. Slurring Your Memes Podcast.
Gmail.com.
Yeah, exactly. Add the motherfucking.
Right.
You're gonna get the email devil.
Yeah, no shit. Fucking, Zuckerberg. You're gonna get Zuckerberg for that shit.
I don't like this. And if you don't fix it, I'm gonna take it down.
Fucking fickle. So fickle. Let me post fucking. I mean, if you see my Facebook, if eventually some of you probably will. I'm gonna try to hide it from you fuckers as much as I can. But once you eventually find us, you're gonna see some awful things. Because I just don't give a shit. I've been banned several times on Facebook, and it's been a while since I've been banned, though. The last ban was a 30-day ban for some...
30 days?
Yeah, that was my last ban. I got a couple 24-hour, 7-day, 30... 30-day bans, but it's been a while. And usually it's for something really awfully anti-religion or something, which for whatever reason offends the Zuckerberger.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zuckerberg is kind of like a little shitty about...
Apparently so.
Whatnot. So we're just gonna go ahead and just keep moving on here.
Fuck you, Zuckerberg.
Fucking eat a dick. But no, don't take us down, because if you do, we're gonna come back even harder with penises, harder penises.
Way bigger, harder, throbbing penises.
Yeah, thicker, girth.
All about that girth.
On August 10th, 1993.
Ooh, that was a good year.
That was a great year. Honestly, that was when a year after Sonic came out on the Genesis.
Dude, I lost like years of my life playing that game.
Dude, that game is so fucking good.
Yeah, they're making a movie.
They are?
They're making a Sonic movie.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
I don't know. It's like gonna be some sort of like live action bullshit or something.
Yeah, it's like taking Ed, and Eddie and remaking it. It's just like we're gonna make them into wholesome characters rather than these fucking kids that look like you don't want to fucking talk to them because they look like fucking inbred kids.
Right? Yeah, I mean, how are they going to do a live action Sonic? Because, I mean, he would look like some sort of inbred fucking, hedgehog thing that's like part human or something. He's just going to be sitting there going, kill me.
Kill me.
What the fuck? Like he's just chasing rings like he's fucking Gollum.
You walk in, it's like, kill me now.
I'm miserable.
First, give me a chili dog.
So let's go back to this. On the 10th of August, 1993, Vikernes murdered Euronymous. Now, mind you, Euronymous was the guy that was annoying everyone in the band, shooting guns in the fucking woods and not letting people sleep, and then, being sad about his friend killing himself and all kinds of weird shit. But then he goes and gets murdered by this Vikernes guy, which I was reading about just yesterday. And this guy has an amazing backstory, not only burning churches and murdering his band member, but he did 21 years in jail for those two particular crimes. I think it was 14 years for the murder. And then in 2014, he went back to jail for trying to start like some sort of like... racial hatred. I don't know what the fuck that was about. I didn't really read into it.
Well, we might be able to find out what's going on.
Yeah, if you guys know anything about it, just tell us. We'd love to hear about it.
You can write us with that information at Slurring Your Memes at Slurring Your Memes Podcast at gmail.com. I'll get used to it. Hold on.
So yeah, So he kills his own band member. Like, that's pretty fucked up. But Vikernes and this other guy that was in the band, Ruck or Roosh, whatever you want to fucking... I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's weird. Traveled from Bergen, which is 518 kilometers, to Euronymous' apartment in Oslo. Upon their arrival, a confrontation began, which ended with Vikernes fatally stabbing Euronymous.
That's fucking... Like, the thing is, like, when they say fatally stabbing, it's just like, I'm going to stab you, and stabbed him once, and that's the fatal stab. No. How many times did he get stabbed?
I want to know. Count. Like, give me a number.
Fucking dude. These guys spend time like, oh, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4,
right.
5. This is like, come on, fucking tell us. Mm-hmm. He stabbed them 39 times.
Right.
Fucking 42. Fuck
right.
it. He went an extra 2.
In actuality, they found his body outside the apartment with 23 cut wounds or stab wounds, 2 to the head, 5 to the neck, and 16 to the back.
Oh shit!
So that's
so. In other words, he was like, "Oh, I hate you! I hate you! I hate you!" And it's like, "Yeah, do it some more, thank you."
Yeah, so that's a good way to die as a Viking. If these guys really considered themselves Vikings, I mean, it was all suicides and murders and all kinds of shit. So they lived a Viking life, I guess, rape and pillage. I wonder if he got raped after he stabbed him.
I wouldn't even doubt it.
Not at this point. No.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I think Viginus was upset at Euronymous because he got grounded, so he stabbed him to death.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they had a play date or something.
It's like, you were supposed to come over, and I was lonely. My
You're
mom.
supposed to come over and play Sonic.
You know, my mom was like, "You're not going outside, and you can't play Sonic because your friend's not here."
So Viginus claimed that Euronymous had plotted to torture him to death, and Euronymous basically he was going to videotape the whole event and all this shit, and use the meeting about an unsigned contract as a pretext. So on the night of the murder, Viginus claims he intended to hand Euronymous the signed contract and tell him to fuck off.
Fuck her off, kid.
So
that's Boston for fuck off, kid.
Yeah, why no, kid? That always starts fights around here back in the day. If you know anything about Boston, all you had to do is 2 ways to start a fight, and it was why no, kid, and psh. And that's fists. That's fists are getting thrown instantly.
Yeah, them fists are coming up. You want to fuck around, kid? You want to come here? Bring a gun over here?
Yeah. So, on the night of the murder, Viginus claims he intended to hand him this contract and all this crap, and then Euronymous' cut wounds were caused by broken glass, and he had fallen on during the struggle. So there was they both were injured, obviously. Viginus was arrested within days, and a few months later, he was sentenced to 21 years in prison for both the murder and the church arsons.
Because why not toss that on top of it? Because like this guy's crazy enough to kill his own fucking band member. Let's fucking just toss these guys. Fucking charges on top of him also.
Yeah, well, it was quite clearly burned the churches. It was on their fucking album cover. But he was released from prison in 2009. I mean, imagine that, though. He burned down churches. He fucking killed his friend, and they let him out of jail. This guy's all right. We'll just let him out. He's fine.
Right?
Totally cool.
He's not crazy yet.
So Blackthorn, who waited for Viginus downstairs and took no part in Ariseth's murder, was charged with complicity in murder and sentenced to serve 8 years in prison.
How's only 8 years, guy? You've got 21.
I mean, he just drove him there. He's like, I know you're going to go kill him, but I'm going to sit in the car and smoke a butt. That's probably what he did. I mean, that's what I would have done.
You do what you got to do. I have a date with this cigarette.
Exactly. So he did 8 years, and then with only Hellhammer remaining, MayheM effectively ceased to exist. So Hellhammer's like the only dude that's been there. I think it's like 1988, and
Jesus
he's the only.
Christ. He's like the only guy who's actually holding the shit together.
Yeah, he's the only one that didn't kill anybody or kill himself or burn a church down or stab himself or whatever the fuck
music.
happened.
These guys are just crazy, but I'm not gonna leave them because it's entertaining.
Right. So. They finally, after all of this had happened, and they'd recorded this album, The Mysterious Dumps, so the Wrath of something or other.
No. The Mysterious Dumb Fantarana.
Oh my God, Nath. That album was released to dedicate Euronymous, apparently. Its release had been delayed due to complaints filed by Euronymous' parents. Again, his parents are getting involved again.
Fucking guy didn't come to see Sonic when he told to.
Oh my God.
Bastards.
Who had objected to the presence of bass guitar parts played by Viginus, who was his murderer. According to Viginus himself, Hellhammer assured Arthas' parents that he wouldn't re-record the bass tracks himself, being unable to play bass guitar. So he couldn't do it because he couldn't find a bass player, and which sounds ridiculous in Norwegian black metal culture. You can't find a fucking bassist.
Yeah, right?
Everyone's a fucking bassist.
Everyone plays a fucking
instrument.
no
shit.
You play guitar, you know how to play bass.
Yeah, so Hellhammer essentially left the bass tracks unchanged, and so that the album features Viginus as effective bassist, which probably pissed off his parents more, and they probably wanted to ground him too. So moving on, they came back. They continue to come back. These guys are crazy.
Like, they don't give a shit. Like, this is like by early 1994, MayheM reformed a band with a new guitarist, Rune Eriksson. Blasphemer Ekerson. Yeah, I don't care. I've been drinking. Shut
I'm
up.
making up fucking words, man. This guy's last name is fucking Two Pony Guy or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, Blasphemer. What a great name.
Yeah, this actually might turn out to be a 2-part episode.
It may have to be.
Yeah, so, but before we get into this, I think we're going to definitely just call this right here for what it is.
Yeah.
And, it was part 1 of a 2-part episode of MayheM. So if you have anything you want us to cover, just give us some ideas. Write us at Slurring Your Memes Podcast at gmail.com.
I got it right. Yes. But yeah, we're open to suggestions. I mean, we figured that we'd be talking about really any subject. It could be conspiracy theories, aliens, assholes. We don't care. We'll talk about anything.
Anything. You want us to talk about you for a half hour or an hour? We will.
Yeah, if you got a cool story or something, we'll fucking.
You want to write us about a cool story? We'll read the whole entire full story, right?
We will if it's interesting enough. I mean, if it's like boring, then fuck you.
Right? We'll just tell you straight up, like, this is not good enough. I'm sorry, but you got to look at the graph.
Right.
I'm sorry, Taylor, but your ideas are shit.
Yeah, I mean, we want to hear like about this guy that grew up, fucking going to Harvard and getting all A's and shit and playing with Legos and became like a fucking engineer or something. Like, we want to hear like, so my dad used to touch me inappropriately in front of my mom and shit. Like, I don't know, just weird, just anything weird. You know where I'm going. Just some weird shit.
Yeah, just anything. If you actually have any solid evidence. Which I don't really think evidence is great. You can give us evidence, but if you have anything, just fucking give us something. Stop it.
Yeah, I mean, we got plenty of things lined up that we want to talk about. I mean, I'm sure most things that we're going to talk about have been talked about, but we're going to delve into it maybe a little more than others would. We want to, get under your skin a little bit and talk about some things that maybe, others won't talk about. We want to reach those depths. That's just what we do.
That's it. But again. I am Taco.
I'm Philbrook.
And we would like to see you here next time at Slurring Your Memes.